Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the blessed one, the exalted one, the fully enlightened one. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we mainly try to share some basic informations for yourself to develop a very good foundation for your meditation practice. Because if you don't know what to do, and if you don't know how this practice can develop your inner awareness, just closing your eyes or visualizing something or chanting something maybe not going to bring the result to you. So that's why most of the time when people say they practice meditation, so if we ask what kind of meditation you practice, and sometimes they can't explain. And sometimes when we ask why you practice meditation, so most of the time they need the calmness. They need just the comfort to maintain the life. But this meditation, of course, it helps for you to maintain your life. It brings the comfort to you, but this meditation will take you a little bit more further than your comfort. So that is your understanding. So the understanding regarding the life, which we call the causality, cause and effect. So how this cause and effect came to the teachings, it is not just a kind of like a different way of understanding. It's just observing and recognizing. So especially, so when it comes to the Buddha, when he was practicing meditation himself in the forest, so sometimes that he himself observed that he had a very difficult time, that everything not happened very smooth, nice way for him. He went through many kind of emotional breakdown, disappointment, unhappiness, that everything, but he observed himself. And even sometimes when he practiced meditation in the jungle, sometimes he heard some noise. So then in the beginning, he thought, oh, maybe some unknown living beings, kind of like a demon or the god or kind of like that, or making this noise. But then what happened, rather than caught up with thoughts, he just go and observe. And then he saw, oh, maybe little animal just made that sound. So without going and observe it, if he start to think and visualize and go with the mind, then what happens? So the same thing happened to us also. Most of the time when things come to our mind, We caught up with our own mind, our own opinions, our self-centered view, and then we disconnect from the reality. Because then, and even the words sometimes not enough for us to get into the reality. It has certain limitations. So as example, when you have a conversation, sometimes you can mention, if it is very successful, you can mention maybe like a 99%, 100% is successful. So, but so you put the numbers, you bring the numbers to explain how successful it was. But when you mention it kind of like 100%, it's just the words. You put the numbers to that. So it is not maybe the 100%. But we caught up with that words. So as example, sometimes promise, that the promise that maybe the people understand in different ways. The same like that according to their mental capacity. And maybe the promise, what you understand, maybe another person understand it totally different way. So then you have a conversation and then you ask, can you promise me? So then other person say, oh yeah, I promise you. So then you hold it to that, whatever the idea that you have regarding what is the meaning of promise. But other person is hold it to that, and then when they're both going to become unbalanced, then you get disappointed. So this is always happening everywhere. And it can happen to that anything with even with the meditation, even with the whatever the liberation or the freedom, sometimes that what we know, that what the freedom that you know may be totally different freedom that for another person. Even for the God also the same, that the concept of the God, sometimes each and every person have their personal God according to their own personal opinions. So then you have to be very careful while you practice to get out of this mental imagination or the thoughts barriers or the word, not to be limited to words. So don't try to verbalize when you get into the experience. Because once you get into the experience, if you try to verbalize, you very disconnect from the experience, then something else going to happen. So then for that, you have to have the openness. So when you have the openness with your heart, with your mind, with your brain, whatever, the whole body, head to toes, let's take like that way. When you open yourself, you can't hold it to something. But the thing is, we are sometimes we open to things, but for the wrong things, for unprofitable things. We never open to the truth. We never open to the wisdom. We never open to the clarity. We don't want that. We don't want to hear the exactly what is truth. Why? Because we hold it to our own truth. But when it comes to sometimes emotions or the love or the friendships, the outside connection, sometimes people 100% open to other people. And that is where sometimes when the kind of like the disappointment happen, unbalance happen, miscommunication happen with the people, maybe you get so hurt. Because you so open to that person. You never hold anything back. And it is so powerful. But in very conventional life, sometimes people do that. They're so open to that, maybe the environment, and they're so open to the maybe situations. Maybe they're open to people. Maybe they're open to their partners. Maybe they open to their loved ones, the parents. As parents, sometimes they 100% open to the children, and the children 100% open to the parents. But that openness behind that all, like behind the curtain, behind that openness, you always have the idea of self-satisfaction, which maybe other person doesn't care. So then maybe when other person start to do something, when the environment start to change, when the situations start to change, when the children start to grow, or maybe the parents start to become older, then that unbalance happens. And then you get hurt. Why people get hurt? Because they open. So then, have you ever opened to the truth? It's nothing wrong in a very conventional level, you open to other person. But how about the truth? How about the Dharma? How about the Buddha nature? How about the compassion? Have you ever experienced 100% your heart and your brain, your mind, so whatever you name, have you ever experienced you open to that? So that's why the faith is a kind of like a conviction, is a method, kind of like thrusting the path that you walk, is a method that bringing that openness, because it is more powerful than the husband, wife, the children, friends, and family members, because that is a very social way of, that depend on opinions. It's nothing wrong with that. Of course, we need it, but it's still, there is something, there is a doubt. It's maybe not going to fulfill you. You know that. That's why when even you have a love affair for a long time period, when you get married, you have to sign the papers. Forget about that, what you say, sign the papers. If you say, forget why I have to sign, because I love you, honey, that doesn't work. You have to sign the papers. But when you tune to the truth, when you open to the truth, there is something happening, something always going to happen, and it's become so powerful. Then that's why the Prince Siddhartha, had the huge party in the big mansion, the palace, but they had the most beautiful girl during that time. And he had the, just newly born baby. Just look, that he left everything. Because when you open to the truth, that you recognize that everything is just very conventional. But ourselves, what? We never, this is the thing, why we are in this samsara. Because we never open to the truth. It is so powerful. We know, maybe we know that just as idea, but we never do that. Most of the time we are afraid for the truth. We are afraid for the reality. We like fake ones. We sometimes we don't like to touch the bottom. We like to, play on the surface level. Why? Because deeper we have fear. So that is, meditation is a method that you address to that fear. You go into that. And you go into the bottom, you're not going to play on the surface level. So for that, you have to have the courage. You have to have the strength, and you have to have some kind of wisdom to go through that. So that's why before we start this session is, every day we try to, that the giving some kind of basic information for you day by day to build up that. So it's like you building, that this house, you need different materials. So kind of like, you have to have different, informations in a certain level. So in this path, remember to be open to truth. Always remember this go towards well-being. It's never go towards any kind of unprofitable way. Tranquility meditation and the vipassana meditation, it always go towards well-being, to develop profitable skills, to become a better person, to grow yourself. It always uplifts you. Maybe in the moment you're not going to experience, but it always going to uplift you. And it deeply help you to have the purification and refine your mind from the greed, hatred, and the delusion. Take out all the poisons. And then it transplant with the loving kindness, compassion, generosity, and wisdom. That kind of tools go towards the wisdom. So when you practice meditation, always remember this path towards the well-being, not anywhere else. And another thing is, the second step that you have to remember, respect to all living beings without dividing. Learn to respect to all living beings. And when it comes to that, just respecting not enough. When you go into that, you may see there are some weak living beings. It doesn't matter whatever the existence. Maybe there are some weak living beings. That weakness you can define from by physical, mental, spiritual, in any ways. Maybe if you see that, you have to help for that. You have to protect that person or that living being. That is the second step, that when you walk in this path, to develop your inner awareness and cultivate the abilities to be open to the path. It bring the strength for you. So always then remember to take care of all living beings, and when you meet any weak ones, help. And the other thing is creating a home around you for each and everyone. How? Caring and sharing. If any place provide the caring and sharing, it become kind of like the home. So what is the very nature of the home? It brings you the protection, and at the same time, it is the place for you to care and share. So if you go to jungle, if you go to forest, if you go to mountain, if you go to retreat center, if you go to the middle of the city, if you go to the village, if you go to the friend's place, if you go to the market, if you go to the payment, if you go to the park, you name it, wherever you go, you can make that place as a home for others. So what is the quality that you have to carry with you? Caring and sharing in many ways. If you tune to that, you will see it can do in many ways. Even sometimes your appearance can help. Just imagine, you go to a kind of like a huge warehouse, and someone, it's no one around that area. So someone, have the fear, and with that fear, try to find some things. So your appearance make that person, oh, there's another one. See, that brings the it's kind of like a caring. So you share your appearance to that person and that person feel comfortable. So like that everywhere, it's a kind of like a different way of tuning yourself. So while you practice meditation, always remember, it is just not closing your eyes and, observing inhalation, exhalation, how this practice you can bring out of your bodily, verbally, mentally actions. So caring and sharing. And other thing is the fourth one, always you have to remember this outside, inside, with all the perception related to eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So whatever you experience, it's related to impermanent. There is no doubt about it. It's related to impermanent. It's you experience it only in the moment. So that understanding will take you to the next moment as a new person. That is the key. Because most of time, we go to the next moment carrying our backpack and the memory and a lot of things inside us. We go with the dust. We go with the old things. We don't understand the newness. We cannot be fresh. But when you practice meditation, remember always, it is a skill yourself to understand. It is not just by verbally you do it. No. When you tune to the understanding of impermanent, so whatever you experience, you bring your highest ability to experience it, and at the same time, there is no desire to hold it. When there is no desire to hold it, what happened? That is where you deeply capable to experience something. So then you become free itself. You experience, but still you free. That freedom will take you to the next moment as a new person. So once you have that ability, you are capable to harness with the synchronize, join with the whatever the next moment. No resistance. It's like you are capable to blend. That is the highest of when it comes to the vipassana. In the tranquility state, you are capable to find the balance. But when you go to the vipassana level, you are capable to blend. Blend like what? Like the wind and the water. So how the wind and the water, when it blend, it creates the waves. And how about the waves and the sand? Once it comes together, it doesn't go against each other. The beach, that when you go to the beach, it's always welcome the waves. But if you see that if there is a piece of rock, and that the waves, flash, hit and flash, and everywhere. But sand is not like that. If you observe it, when the water comes and the sand go with it, dance with it, it never try to go against it, and the water harness with the sand and the sand go with the water, and it's kind of like a dance. So that is the beauty that happened within you also, when you are capable to have the newness for the next moment. You don't have the resistance, you don't have the dualistic mind, you don't have the separation, you don't have the comparison, you don't have the self-centered opinion, you don't have the self-centered desires hold behind you with your experience. You just 100% become open to the life, not to the person, not to the situations, not to the material thing, to the life. That is what you need. Because we open to other people, things, then, but we never open to life. So this is a method. The Vipassana is a higher level of method that you experience this openness. Because once you open to that, you become a part of the universe. In that part of the universe, you just experience things only related to the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. And you feel the comfort with that. You feel the joy, the satisfaction, and the freedom with that. No boundaries, no divisions. So that is what hide inside you. It is there. Only thing is, you just have to find the way to open it. Because that when you open it, it itself start to release. It's like you have all the key and turn the lock and open the door, and that openness welcome you to inside the house. So that is a deeper level. So when you have that, what happened mentally, you are capable to accept anything. That acceptance brings the generosity itself with each and every cell in your body, mind. Because remember this, if you look very carefully, the science of the generosity, remember that, look into that, you have to little bit, take time and digest it to yourself to understand. If you don't accept, there's no way you can be generous. But once you accept, what happens? That acceptance itself becomes your generosity. Then anything that maybe we think about, when it comes to generosity, we think this material thing we give. No, the most powerful, highest generosity is acceptance, being open. So then remember, develop it with the Dharma. It's nothing wrong we do it with the people, but because it is only for very limited time. And it is most of time going to end with the drama or the misery. That's why it's called the premato jayati soko. All these desires, the love, wanting, always bring the unsatisfaction. That's the world in it. Because we open to the wrong things. So, but if you open to the Dharma day by day, day by day, day by day, you go towards the wisdom. And then that path is always bring the protection, and that path always bring the harness, newness, satisfaction. So practicing meditation is developing that. And so remember the first thing, and this path go towards the well-being. And take all living beings as a part of you and respect. And at the same time, remember to protect the weaker ones. Don't turn your back. Don't go away. Don't run away when you see weak ones. So another thing is the third one, create the home around you wherever you are. How? Caring and sharing. So if any place care and share, that place become a home. It doesn't matter a mansion, palace, but if that place doesn't have the caring and sharing, it's not going to become a home. But it is a homeless place, little tent. But if you find the caring and sharing there, that place become a home. And always have the wisdom with your whole experience, moment by moment. This everything related to impermanent. There's nothing to hold. Once you have that, you become free from letting go, because there's nothing to let go. Why? Because you don't hold anything. You're not harbor, you're not anchoring into anything. So that's bring the ability for you to keep the newness moment by moment, moment by moment. And then that ability bring the opportunity for you to mix, join, harness with the life. And then your experience itself become your life. That is the highest of the wisdom. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck, head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body and scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy. 3 times. Bring your attention to your body and take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens through the sensation, recognize it. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chammi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipattiya Buddham Pujemi Dhammam Pujemi Sangham Pujemi Addaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadhi Maranam Ha Paribunjissami Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vanghotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.